Hello, friends. Welcome to the pedagogy of motivation and management. Today, we are going to look at a simple anecdote that happened in a young man's life and how the young man catapulted his self belief into phenomenal success. Our young man was transiting between two suburban stations in Chennai, and it so happened that the train was very crowded, and our young man was just at the edge of one of these doors. It so happened that because of the chaos, that one of his footwear actually fell on the track, and the train was moving, and the young man was contemplating, and he had to make a very significant decision. One, the pair of slippers that he had just purchased was about 1 year old, and it will last for another 6 months. So, in one way, he could walk all the way and get it back. Option two was he could buy a new pair of slippers and just move on. Now, he had very limited resources, and he did not have a regular stream of income at that point in time. So, he decides that it is imperative that he take the walk back along the railway track and go and reach out for the other pair that he just lost some time back. Obviously, no one is going to take away a solo footwear, right? So, the young man walks all the way back and reclaims his footwear, and he had to walk barefoot all the way. Now, here this young man teaches us one great concept, and that concept is very relevant for entrepreneurs who are starting up, and that is the concept of frugality. Frugality is the mother of all virtues, as all of us know. When an entrepreneur starts out on his business, he should not be ambitious in his expansion. He must remember that the resources at his disposal are very limited, and hence he must make a judicious allocation and utilization of those scarce resources. So, it's here that this young man, who went on to be one of India's champion businessmen in the field of dairy, advocates that frugality is the imperative need when you are starting out as an entrepreneur. He further goes on to advise us, saying that it should not be translated into all spheres of an organization's life. For example, when the organization has grown phenomenally, obviously he would not be walking the entire distance back, because there the cost benefit analysis must be done at every single stage, and the decision must be taken depending on the context that prevails at that point in time. So he advocates the importance of decision making. We are talking about none other than R.G.Chandramogan sir, who was the founder of Hatsun, the brand Arun, and of course iBacco. He is one of the who's who in the Forbes India magazine. A person who had humble beginnings from a village actually embarked upon a journey that made him one of the most sought after business persons in India. The business started off and it had humble beginnings, and they started off with push carts. So from push carts to wherever it is today, to the Hap Daily that we see around us. Now, how did this journey come to be? It all began in 1970 when, as an ice candy maker, he started off with a modest investment of just 13,000 rupees and only 3 employees, and there were some push carts at his disposal. And in 1981, they managed to reach a turnover of about 4.25 lakhs. The strategy that Arun Ice Cream did was they very clearly understood that they had to carve a niche for themselves, because the urban markets were definitely under the control of existing brands like Quality. So they decided to walk on a path that was not treaded, and they decided to tap into the Tier 2 and Tier 3 markets. This gave them a first mover advantage, and the concept of a sit and eat ice cream parlor model became a huge success, because this inculcated a sense of serendipity amongst the customers of that particular target market. When Hatsun decided to offer its milk, it came up with a 4.5 percentage fat content milk rather than competing with the government's offering, the local government's offering here, as in the government of Tamil Nadu, and it was the Avin. Well, they didn't compete with that, and they gave a niche offering and said this is a milk which gives you 4.5% fat content. So again, there you see they have carved out a specific niche and played within that. Not only that, Hatsun also understood that office goers need to have curds, and the ready-made curd offering also was a huge success amongst its customers. So they went on building a robust network of connectivity with milk producers. They reached them directly, and they had paid them through the electronic mode. This ensured that Hatsun's network of farmers never suffered during the demonetization time. Hatsun also helped them cultivate high-yielding fodder to boost the productivity and quality of the milk. Now they achieved something called cold chain integrity. This was done through chilling the milk at source, and the transportation of milk was done through refrigerated trucks. This was yet another path-breaking initiative that not many players had embarked upon, and this gave a company a huge headway towards success. The company ended up achieving a turnover of 5,570 crores for the financial year ended 2020-2021. Now, if we look at it in the founder's words, the organization managed to achieve the turnover that it had achieved in the last 50 years, it had managed to do in that one single year, that is 2021. So this was a watershed moment in the history of this organization. All of us know iBacco, and it's yet another model which is an aspirational offering that the company gave, which was an improvement from the Arun Ice Cream offering that they gave. And again, the positioning. Now, most of us are cutting iBacco cakes and not birthday cakes in our birthdays, right? This company gave a fantastic return to its investors, also enriching them, so adding wealth to the investors. So that we can see over the last 5 years, basically the price has gone up from 200 to about 1060 today. So you've seen a 5x return in the company the last 7 years. So this is quite a phenomenal and astounding return that it has generated to its stakeholders. Hatsun, apart from being a very successful company in the dairy segment, it has not forgotten its social responsibility, and hence the Hatsun Badminton Center has been founded in Sivakasi in Tamil Nadu, and this badminton center is a place where all future gold medalists in the field of badminton are being groomed. So he has walked and he has walked up the stairs of success, and has asserted himself as not only an entrepreneur who has generated profits for himself, as an exceptional professional who has generated enormous amount of wealth for his stakeholders, who has also enhanced the quality of living of his stakeholders, meaning the farmers, and as a person whom everyone can respect, as he also wants his country to shine in the field of badminton. Now let's again go back. This was the same gentleman who had to walk back all the way to reclaim his footwear, walking 5 kilometers in the hot sun. Let's understand, friends, that success cannot be built in a single day, and we need to embark upon a resilient journey where we need to be prepared to endure a lot of hardships, think differently, and think laterally to ensure that we achieve the pinnacle of success. So let's derive inspiration from the story of R.G.Chandramogan sir, and let's be inspired. And who knows, maybe I'll be making a video of one amongst you maybe 10 years down the line when your organization goes on to be a huge conglomerate. Friends, thank you for your patient listening, and kindly subscribe to our channel. Thank you.